Today we're here at the Newcastle factory, and something that we get asked all the time by customers is what is the difference between a composting toilet and a cartridge toilet. They are both options that you could choose on a Taurus RV van within any model, and if you're a current customer of Taurus RV, you can have them retrofitted as well. So let's jump straight into it and have a look at the cartridge toilet first. So here we are in one of the Taurus RV vans, and this one's been decked out with a cassette toilet. So a cassette toilet can also be known as a chemical toilet or a cartridge toilet. This is specifically the Dometic branded one. So you have a flush on it. There is a normal toilet seat with a lid, and you also have this little handle here, which you need to open before you go to the toilet at any time. This toilet has a holding cartridge that's underneath, which collects everything. So it collects wee, it collects poo, all into the same container. And for it to do that and for it not to smell, you use a product which looks similar to this. So this is the Portasol branded one. You can get a Dometic one, or I believe Thetford do one as well. This particular one has 25 doses in here. So you pour out your 40 mils, you put it into the toilet with a couple of litres of water, and then you're good to use it. Now, from my personal experience of living in a caravan for an extended period of time, we have done both cassette and a composting toilet. With a cassette toilet, we had a family of 4, and on most occasions we would be able to get 4 days. Once your cartridge is full on this toilet, it needs to be emptied at a dump point. When wee and poo is put together, that's what makes it black waste. So you can't just put it anywhere. Now, there are a few people as well who don't like to use these toilets because of the use of chemicals. And if that's you, but you still want to be able to use a cartridge toilet, there are other products on the market, such as this one, Pro Power, and they actually do something for your cassette toilets. And this is completely chemical free. However, because your wee and your poo are going together again, you still need to go to a dump point to dispose of the waste from your cartridge. A cartridge on average will hold around about 19 litres. So you've got to take into account that there are number 1s, number 2s, toilet paper, and also your flush going into there, along with the couple of litres of water that you had to put in there to set it up in the first place. So this isn't always the best option if you're looking to go fully off-grid for an extended period of time, because your toilet is what's going to hold you back from being able to stay off-grid for a long time. If you want to have a cassette toilet like this and go off-grid, your best option is to choose a location that has a toilet block available to you, because this may not get you through the amount of time that you want to stay there. Now, not every van user wants to be off-grid all the time, so this can be perfect for that situation. If you're the person who likes to be able to go away and go to caravan parks, or you may be staying at friends' houses or somewhere where there is power and water as an option for you, this is usually a great addition to your caravan. In many locations across Australia, there's dump points, and the best way to find them is via wiki camps, and you can hop on there, find the closest dump point, or in caravan parks, they're always going to have one as well. So this won't be something that restricts you within your travels. So overall, if you're a short-term, short holiday or on-grid type of user, this toilet could be perfect for you. If you're looking to go off-grid or for longer periods of time where you're not going to have access to facilities, the composting might be a better option. So why don't we head over and we'll take a quick look at one of them. Okay, so here we are in another Taurus RV model, and this one has been fitted with the composting toilet from new. And remember, if you're choosing to move this way, you can retrofit these whether you have a cartridge toilet or not. So looking at the toilet internally, it is a little bit different because you have an area where number 2s go and an area where number 1s go. So number 1, there's a little slit here which everything runs into, and number 2 you want to leave shut when you're going for a wee. But if you do want to do a number 2, you're able to open it from here. So that's using the toilet. And then looking at the internals, so you can see this is the flap mechanism, so you can go for your number 2, and this is where we will come from. And you might be wondering where it goes. So in behind here, there's 2 little clips, and you can bring off a front cover, and you have a container. So this is 9 litres. It holds 9 litres. With our family, we have this exact toilet within our van, and with 4 of us, we find around about 2 days of constant use. So we're not going to a toilet block at all. So if you're going to the toilet block during the day and just using this at night, you may get a little bit more time, but that also just depends on you and how you decide to use it. So this here actually comes out for easy emptying, and then you pop it back in when you're done. So the wee portion is pretty straightforward. I'll move this to the side. And now this is where all the action happens, I guess you'd say. So when you go to do a number 2, that flap will be open and it will fall into this bucket. So this bucket you fill with a product called Core Peat. So this here you mix with water and it turns into like a dry soil consistency. So half a brick with a litre of water we've found is a really good mix for inside this bucket. So you pop that in there. There is a button on the side of the toilet which you can use, I'll show you, and that actually causes the motor to work. I'll turn it off for now though because it's going to be too noisy while I'm talking to you. But you will have your peat in this toilet, and this is your agitator, and this is your agitator that goes around with the motor, and this here stops it from coming out of the bucket. So you can put your toilet paper in here, or you can choose to use a bin next to the toilet and collect everything from wees or number 2s, or maybe we put our number 2 paper in here but not the wee paper, because that's something which is going to fill it a lot quicker, which means you get less usage out of it. So generally speaking, one of these buckets with full-time use for our family of 4, it's about probably 2 weeks and we need to empty it. Emptying is really straightforward. You take the bucket out of the toilet, this goes straight into a bin bag, and it can go in your general waste. With your wee, you can put it on a tree, on a grass, on a lawn, in a garden bed, wherever you want to put it. I guess the way to think of it is when the men in the house decide to go for a wee around the back of the caravan, it's the same concept, but it's just coming from a bucket. Now, the thing is with this as well, because you haven't put the wee and the poo together, it's also not a black waste. So how you deal with this waste is a little bit different to how you can deal with the cartridge waste. So that means this can go in general rubbish and your wee can go out into a garden bed. So if I put this back together, bucket goes in, your wee container goes in, and the lid goes down, and you're ready for use. So everything with this toilet is something you can deal with internal, and you don't need to go to a dump point to get rid of any of the waste from this toilet. The only time we've really used a dump point with this particular toilet is if we're in a caravan park. I don't really want to go out and, let 9 litres of wee go on your neighbour next to you. So it's nice and it's considerate to go and put that into the dump point. But generally, if you're in an off-grid environment, I guess you can start to see why this would be the best type of toilet to have in those situations. For us, being able to go 2 weeks without having to go near society means we can stay off-grid for a long time. Whereas if we had a cassette toilet with a family of 4, every 3 to 4 days, we would have to enter society again to go and get rid of that waste. This allows us not to need to do that. So looking at a cartridge toilet and a composting toilet, the way you use them is quite differently. A cartridge toilet needs your chemical. You're probably looking at about $30 for every time you need one of those new containers, and that's going to need to get used every time you empty your cartridge. With a composting toilet, it's a bit different. So your peat brick is made out of coconut husk, and when you add water, it expands and turns into a soil-like consistency. These are available to buy from Big W, and they're $4 a brick. So you're looking at a half brick for every time you empty this every 2 to 3 weeks, depending if you're a family or a couple. This spray is a compost cleaner and stimulant that they give you when you buy the toilet. We used this in the very beginning when we got the toilet, but then we swapped it for a part vinegar, part water and essential oil mix, which is also sufficient. You can use that to help lubricate the bowl before you go to the toilet or clean the bowl afterwards. And you can put it into your composting mix as well to help stimulate the composting process. This brand as well, Pro Power, they also have a composting mix. So we tend to put this in our mix, and this is to help speed up the process more so than using the spray. This is something which I do when I first fill the toilet, and it runs for the whole 2-week period that we have the toilet ready to go. The last thing I want to mention with this toilet setup is that there is a constant 12-volt fan running at the back, so it's constantly drawing air out of the toilet. So any smell or thing that's going on around here, you're not going to know about. It's going to get drawn away from the van. And Taurus RV have a very specific setup where they have PVC piping they've set up that vent it out towards the top of your caravan, so you'll never smell it. And underneath, there's also a vent to get rid of any condensation should you find there are some in the hotter weather. So there you have it, a quick review on both types of toilets and what they can do for you. So Taurus RV range can be fitted with either one from factory, and you can actually look at retrofitting if you're looking to change between either type of toilet. As I mentioned earlier, the Cartridge toilet is great for on-grid adventures, whether you're staying in a caravan park or somewhere that's really close to facilities and dump points so you're able to empty it. The composting toilet, on the other hand, is a really good option if you're looking at going off-grid and you don't intend on being quite so close to society or the ability to be able to empty a dump at a dump point location. No matter which toilet you choose, you're still going to be able to get out there and enjoy your caravanning adventures. Cartridges are easy to use and quick to learn, whereas composting does take a little bit more learning and understanding in the beginning, but once you're working and using it well, you're going to be very happy with that choice. For us personally, we've used both Cartridge and composting is our preference. We've used multiple brands of both types, and composting has allowed us to go to off-grid locations where we choose to stay for sometimes a week, sometimes 2 weeks with no facilities available to us. It really is a personal preference, and what you choose to do must be right for you. If you need any more information whatsoever, please pop down your questions below. We'd be really happy to help you with this, and make sure when you head into a Taurus RV showroom, have a look at both toilets, try them for yourself, ask some more questions, and you'll be able to confidently make a choice that works for you on your caravanning adventures. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to take a look at our range or learn anything else about our setups, please head over to our YouTube channel. Alternatively, you can go to the website www.taurusrv.com.au, where there is a range of information on all of the vans we have available. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.